this is Lars Fiedler and this is Christopher Håkansson with students of Goju-Ryu, here with Survival Self-Protection in a series of 5 videos about striking and fighting. The primary goal of striking and fighting most commonly is to deal damage, but just throwing heavy shots isn't going to work very well. So in this first video we're going to talk a bit about using lighter impact as a means of landing heavier strikes. The most simple form of this is perhaps the 1-2 combination, the most famous one perhaps the boxing jab-cross combination. And the principle of this combination is using a light impact. We're fighting in this, we're both in good balance, we can both see each other perfectly. And I use very light strikes allowing me to stay in perfect control until I land one and get an effect. And the effect in this case from a jab is I get my opponent turning his head back with a pain withdrawal reflex, just taking his eyes off me, allowing me to set up for a heavier strike so that when his head swings back, a heavier strike will meet him. This principle of using one technique to hide another is something to keep in mind, because if I would try, for example, to use a jab from here and pull my hand back and try to replace it with a hook, you can see that from here we'll cross. My attack follows the same line, so it still hides. Whereas even if I pull my hand back here, my hook is very easy for my opponent to see. So the jab is useless. So if I would try to set up for a hook, I would go from a closer distance, and I would go from an elbow, from a backhand, and I would follow up with a hook or another elbow from the same side, using this attack to hide this attack. There are other ways of using this, of course, more advanced principles are using different sides and heights in order to confuse an opponent, so to speak, to make just stimuli that makes it difficult to keep up with. It's also a very old principle. In Hung Gar Kung Fu, for example, they have what they call shadowless kicks, which is simply short kicks used from a mid to close range, where we're either in a grappling situation or even in a striking situation, where I use just short and light kicks, just inside of knees, even wrists, thighs, outsides, just short, even groin, just short kicks to get quick reactions, which I can use to land heavier impact. In the next video, we'll continue the theme of atemi, of lighter strikes, and talk a bit about how to use lighter impact as a means of grappling escape.